Thank you very much, gentlemen. I am joined by TSM's MVP, Bjergsen! After a big victory, crowning themselves the champions of North America for the summer split, but more than that, 6-time champions, 3-time back-to-back champions, and the first team to do it in a spring and summer split. How does it feel now that all the hard work is paying off so much?
It feels amazing. It's just, the crowd is so awesome here. Every time we come out between the matches, you guys are giving us high fives, you're cheering for us, you're giving us encouraging words, and the crowd is awesome, and I mean, this is the payoff, right? This is the payoff for an entire split of practicing, but this is not all we want to achieve. We've said it so many times, but Worlds is on our horizon, and that's going to be our focus now.
I'm sure the fans are ready to see that as well. It was such a strong split for TSM. Was there a wall, if any walls, that you felt you guys hit that would stop you from finding this finals that you had to overcome?
I think there were many, actually. There were a lot of teams that were better at us at specific things, and we learned a lot from other teams this split, I feel like, more than others, where other teams have these really strong strengths that they're beating us with, and then we're taking that and we're improving our own aspects of our game from that. So I think NA as a whole has leveled up, and that's leveled up our team as well.
And Bjergsen, if you could share, obviously Worlds is right on the horizon. Is there any boot camping or practice that you guys are going to start digging into right away for that?
We're going back to LA, and then in like 5 days or so, we're already flying to Korea, and we're going to do the usual boot camp. Hopefully going to go a bit better this time, but I'm really excited, and this is just another reason for us to stay motivated and stay hungry for Worlds.
Right on, Bjergsen. Congratulations from us once again. You know the chant happens from the fans. Do you have any final words for them out in the crowd?
I can't thank you guys enough. It's always a blast playing in front of such a big crowd. It really empowers our team. It makes us perform better. It sharpens our focus. I think it's obvious that when TSM gets on the big stage, we win because our fans are here cheering for us more than any other team. So I really appreciate that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, TSM with their victory over Immortals, and Bjergsen with some great words of wisdom as TSM makes their way over to Worlds. Bjergsen, thank you very much. We're going to throw it to the casters before we're back with an interview with Immortals.
Thank you very much, Rivington, and what an amazing victory here. Again, that comeback, gigantic, beautiful stuff out of that whole TSM squad.
Yeah, and I really like what Bjergsen said in the interview there about how they had to learn a lot from other teams this split, and a lot of other teams had strengths that were greater than ours. But I thought one thing that stayed true for TSM, and was super evident in this game, was they're the best at team fighting. Immortals had them in the early game by 10,000 gold in that game 4. Yeah. But team fight after team fight, they initiate right, they frontline properly, their backline damage dealers are the best in the business.
Yep.
And that's how they were able to come apart with a win for this series.
That was also why this was such an exciting series. Immortals completely on display the early game there, the roaming from Olay, Smithy and him working together so critically in a lot of their plays, and there were only a couple minute little mistakes in those late game team fights that TSM were able to exploit.
And any minute mistake almost requires a huge play out of your opponent to do the same. You had that great charm dash in that came out of Biofrost that turned into a perfectly sequenced explosive cask and a body slam. Like that first comeback fight, it was not possible with human reaction speeds for Cody Sun to get away from that. He was chain CC'd from the second charm dash came in, and you cannot react to that in time. You've got to predict that it's coming in, and maybe he should have. Maybe that's the small mistake, but everything else was perfect from TSM.
Yeah, and I gotta say, in a lot of ways, Immortals showed up big time today, right? Falling back on that Alistair in game 4, crushing, pulling out that game 2 win with sick jungle pathing from Smithy. Pobelter even shoving Bjergsen in for a lot of that game 4, right? There was a worry for Immortals that they would crumble being on a stage this big. A lot of guys hadn't been there before. Cody Sun hadn't experienced that, right? Ole, biggest stage he's played on as well. But they stepped up. It's just right at the very end, TSM had the experience and the team fighting.
Well, now Immortals have some of that experience, and that is going to serve them well at Worlds. They will still be representing North America, and I think proudly.
I agree. It's going to be some fun stuff. We'll, of course, see next weekend who the last team from North America is going to be. But right now, we're going to wait to hear more from we're going to hear more from today's victors in a little bit. But first, we want to highlight some of the big plays that you called out at home, brought to you by Ace or Predator. Up first, Zombie Epidemic called out CLG's veteran support Aframu as an absolute god this game, and it is hard to disagree.
Nice seismic shove into the cocoon. Where's the follow-up? A little bit more damage would be needed. Omar got now going to be bursted down very, very low. Pulled to safety by Aframu. The counterattack from Aframu's in. He gets it. Goes in.
Aphromoo turns the entire story here. Tells Huhi to go back in for the slow lands, allowing him to get into range for the flash play ignite onto Shrimp.
I mean, it's honestly just incredible from Aphromoo.
Well, up next, of course, Oh Hey Christine says what we were all thinking, the early game, yes, Jat Flame can rumble. Equalizer on top, hoping to equalize the scoreline of this game. The stun turned around to double him. Absolute perfection, a double kill for Flame now. Cristano's far away, this could be a 5v4. The flash pulvers in a 2, the blade collar as well. A lot of damage to the backline. Monster stays alive, but he's stuck under the turret with the team. Flame wants into this one, the double kill comes through with the Flame Spitter.
It's beautiful to watch. The first Rumble game Flame has played this split, but the CC chain on top of the equalizer. Watch this. Ole gets the pulverize.
Oh, man.
Smithy gets the stun on the equalizer, which is a Leandri's rank 2 equalizer. He then flashes the wall to burn the rest of TSM down, and it is a stomp for Immortals in that top lane.
I love that even in our individual player highlight reels, we're highlighting the entire team of Immortals because it's Flame on the Rumble and the equalizers, but the team setting them up.
Yeah, and of course, even though Immortals get that fight, TSM still have the last word, just like in the series. Hey, Kathleen calling it after their team fight. TSM with the miracle comeback. Crunch burned by Hansu, doesn't actually get away. I believe that was the crunch, not the transform. 5v3.
They don't have a lot of time. Minions are flooding into their base, so TSM have to force it now.
And they're all pretty low on health right now. Cody Sun's got to watch out. He's got the ulti available. Look at CC Duck gets away with it though. And the first kill might come through. A flash to stay safe. The chase. Bjergsen gets the kill. Doublet it is. Actually, with the damage up with 2 kills picked up. No trade for Flame. He's going to lose his life. It's the ace for TSM from a 10,000 gold deficit.
Yeah, with exhaust. Can we turn? Yeah, we can. Who's gonna flash with us?
I have flash.
I don't have flash.
Look at I'm going Saya.
I'm going on Saya.
Go flash. I'm killing I'll say Rumble. Go Rumble. I'm about to
I to the point. Yeah, but just live.
We can do it.
That fight was huge, but that entire sequence was the massive turnaround. Specifically the fight in the inhibitor where they were 10,000 gold down into that just goes to show how much they had to do to come back in that game.
I was actually so surprised at how clear the communication was. This was the second hype team fight, so they had to come down off of that previous victory, and they were still only the necessary information.
8 kills straight, though, unanswered. Certainly great stuff out of TSM. And 20-1 in the last run on that game overall was beautiful. Yeah. Now, there's one last thing for us to do, and that's award our finals MVP. And for TSM, the honor goes to the support player, Biofrost. Absolutely incredible stuff. The cheer in the audience, you know he deserved it.
Absolutely deserved here for Biofrost. On Rakan with the slick moves. This was one of the champion picks that made the series.
Yeah, especially coming into the series, all the talk about Ole's initiation, but Biofrost showed up in a huge way this game when they were down in games or when they had the lead. He's the one pulling the trigger. And as Kobe said, what can't he do? Gets the kill with the redemption as well.
This is a guy who has won all of the finals that he's been on TSM.
100% kill participation in that game 4.
20 kill game at that. That's pretty hard to do when he did it. Definitely a great player, and yeah, he was the rookie of the split. He won the North American Championship in his very first one, and now it's 3 straight for him. He's undefeated in finals.
Yeah, I mean, no other player can say that he's been in 3 splits, 4-3 championships. He's going to try and make it 4, obviously, next split, but next step is Worlds for those guys, as well as Immortals.
It's going to be fun, and we'll see again next week who that final team is going to be. And now we're going to send it over to Dash and our North American champions, TSM.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. That's right. I'm here with the entirety of our NALCS champions here in 2017 Summer Split TSM. Again, making history, gentlemen. 6 out of 10 victories, 3 in a row, 2 splits in the same year. We already heard from Bjergsen about what that meant, but I'm going to come to you, Biofrost, first, because you also took MVP for this series, and you are 3 for 3 in NALCS titles. What does this mean for you to just keep piling them on?
It means a lot. Of course, winning is always nice. I didn't think I played that well in the last game, but I guess we came back, so that was nice. Yeah, it just feels really good to be on a really good team, and TSM, they picked me up when I was a challenger support, and Peter, he just took a shot with me, and yeah, I'm really grateful for that.
I mean, everything's working well for you guys right now. Parth down there at the end of the table with the trophy. I'm coming to you next with the question of why is TSM so good? why does this organization continually find themselves in the finals and continue to come away with victories? What separates you from the rest of the NALCS pack?
I think it comes down to like the foundation that we built from like beforehand when Andy was still on the team. Just the competitiveness he brings and the foundation he gave to Bjergsen when he handed the reins over, and then when Peter came in. It's the same foundation that's built into like everything we do in terms of how we practice, how we play, and how we approach every opponent and every season. And as long as we have Andy, I'm pretty sure that we'll still continue to be the top.
And now, Bjergsen, you've been the member of this team, specifically a part of that organization the longest. How has that been for you, this journey with an organization that seems to be built so well and to have such an incredible infrastructure to support your career?
Obviously, like Vincent said, I was really grateful the same. I was picked up from a team that was getting relegated to TSM, the best team in North America. So that was a lot of pressure on me, but the infrastructure in TSM, especially Reggie, helped me become a smarter player, become a better teammate, become a leader. And that's what I try to help my teammates with every day, to give back to them just like Andy gave to me.
Doublelift, you're the only player in the North American LCS to win a title on 2 different teams, CLG and now TSM. You still remain that. Of course, if Smithy or Pobelter had won, they would have joined you in that club. But alongside that question, you've now won with 2 different organizations. What separates TSM from the rest in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, kind of echoing off what they're saying, Andy's a really smart owner, and he's a really smart player. And after I 3-0'd TSM, he managed to pick me up, so that was a really great decision. But no, I actually learned a lot about just how to deal with my personality and how I would mesh with the team, and also in-game things from Andy and Bjerg a lot. I think we have really good leaders on the team, and that's the infrastructure that gets the team going.
Now, you specifically had the challenge of stepping away from the game for a portion of this year, returning to the roster. I mean, all of you had that challenge of working back through that. Bjergsen, you talked about the fact that you felt there were other teams that did things better than you throughout this split. For you, Doublelift, what was that journey like individually, trying to work your way back into the professional scene and still be just as dominant?
You know, I wouldn't say I was that dominant. I had some pretty bad games in this finals, but I did mature a lot through that break, and I've come to appreciate and love being a pro. And the place for me is on stage competing, and that's what I've learned from that break.
Well, we're happy to have you here on this stage, as long as you're willing to stay. Hanser, you've always been so vocal about wanting to be the best top laner, not just in North America, but internationally. If it comes to that, the NALCS All-Pro votes, top lane was the closest of any of the roles, 66, 60, 59. You sat in the middle there with 60. But here you are, taking the title, the crown, over Flame, over players like Someday. Do you feel like you're now undisputed the best top laner in the NALCS?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't be the best top without having results to back it up, right? And I mean, Someday Flame, they're good, but they've never won, so that's why I say I'm the best.
There you have it. It's plain and simple, man. You got to pick up the W's. Svenskeren, popping over to you now. A lot of people coming into this matchup. When I was talking to them, asking analysts, what's going to be the key? Where is this going to hinge? People are pointing at Smithy, saying that if he can get work done in the jungle for Immortals, that might be what it takes for them to take you guys down, the Kings. How did you prepare for this match? How did you stack up, knowing that a lot of people were looking at him as being the way that Immortals would take a victory?
Yeah, so Immortals was our primary scrim partner for like a long time during the playoffs, so I think we just already knew a lot of the things they were going to do, so I don't think we were that like scared in the early game kind of, because they used all the stuff in the scrims against us, so we just knew they do a lot of top ganks, and we just have to survive the top ganks, and then they don't do that much other than that. And the series was Mike Gragas versus Hisuzurani, so yeah, I think it was pretty close in the jungle, so.
Now let me ask you this, coming right back to you. Going to Worlds. TSM's aspirations has always been performing at Worlds. Svenskeren, what's different this year, right? We've got a lot of hope here in North America for international play. What are you going to do to deliver on that hope this time around?
I mean, in my opinion, I think we should just go in with like kind of okay expectations. I didn't like last time we came in and we thought we were just going to smash it all and be the best. So if we're a little bit more humble, I think we should be able to do better than last time.
Anybody else have anything to add there with international play, what they expect at Worlds this year? Doublelift? How do you guys climb to the top? How do we avoid the same fate?
I don't know, dude. That was such
That's
a
not the answer,
I mean, I hope we just get lucky. That's all.
Oh, man.
I think for me, it's now I think we're a lot more of a mature team.
Yeah.
When we played Summer last year, our opponents were just a lot worse than they are now. So we were used to winning, always winning lanes, always making the first play. And when we went to Worlds and sometimes we lost in the early game, we were just lost and we didn't know what to do. But like showing like this game, we got completely smashed and we still managed to keep our heads in the game and come back. I think that's going to be important at Worlds, being able to play games where we're behind, games where we're even, and that's a big strength for us now compared to before.
Where did this maturity come from, Parth? You get to watch all this, right? You've been with the team for quite some time. Actually, in terms of titles held, you're 4 of 6 with TSM, so you've been around the block here with this squad. What's it been like to watch these guys grow, mature, not only as players, but as people as well?
I think every time we've gone to an international tournament and done poorly, we've learned a lot from it. All that experience from last Worlds, from MSI, that experience is going to make us a stronger team going to this Worlds. We're going to know how to approach boot camp. We're going to know how to approach the group stage and each opponent. And so hopefully that experience is what carries us through, and that's something that we didn't have last year.
I want to give you guys an opportunity to talk about your opponents just real quickly. Immortals will be joining you guys for their first trip to Worlds. So as some of the most experienced North American LCS players on that world stage, what would you have to say about this Immortal squad, the way they played today, and what we might be able to expect from them come the World Championship?
TSM has a lot of experience starting 10K gold leads, so I don't think we can help there, but the experience here should help them calm their nerves and make the right decisions when they're ahead. But I think Immortals will struggle a lot from playing from behind, which is something that we're really good at now, kind of like what Soren said. That's something that you just need to drill and think about. Always keep mindful of, like, how are you going to come back?
Well, we've got some weeks to go back, nose to the grindstone, prepare for the World Championships. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, your North American LCS 2017 Summer Champions Team Solo Mid. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come up here, celebrate with me, answer my questions. I'm running out of questions. You guys got to stop winning North American LCS finals because I don't know what's left to ask. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here. On behalf of myself, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, a special thank you to Boston and all the fans here, and congratulations to our 2017 Summer Champions. We'll see you next time.